Malky was speaking at the conclusion of the January transfer window. Firstly, just give supporters an insight into what our plans were going into the window and then how that materialised.
Sure, I think it was important to make sure that we've got a balance to the squad, something that we've began to evolve from the summer window. And I think the importance again was to look at the squad model and make sure that if we were going to bring players in, they were going to be someone that could affect the first team. I think it's important at the moment concerning that team that we don't break the team cohesion, the momentum that's going at the moment, and that kind of culture among the squad. So we brought in Alassane Mane into our midfield, and as far as the rest of the squad was concerned, we made sure that if anyone else was going to be considered, they had to actually make sure they could break into that starting 11. That wasn't the case, and you know, the model going forward is to make sure that our short-term and our long-term goals are sustainable.
When you were looking at that squad modelling piece, then were you also considering the number of players that were coming back from injury within that, and then what the squad depth looks like, but then also considering the number of players that are out of contract in the summer too?
Yeah, very much so, because you know, we've just got Kieran Bowie back from a long-term injury, which is a really good bonus for us for the second half of the season. We have Joe Newell and Marvin Ekpiteta, who are on the verge of coming back. Ellie Yuan is in that position as well, and of course Miko has just come back as well. So really you're looking at maybe 5 players who are actually coming back to join the group that have actually done really well over the last 12-14 weeks.
You mentioned Ellie Yuan there. There's been a lot of speculation regarding him and a couple of other players as well as part of that first team squad being linked away with moves. Just give us an insight into what happened with Ellie and with those other players and ultimately the decision we ended up with.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of any player leaving the football club, any decision has got to be best for all parties concerned, and certainly at Hibs in terms of the last month's speculation concerning Ellie, concerning another couple of players. We consider everything that's best for our football club, and if it's not the best thing for our football club, it doesn't happen. So we've got to make sure that all parties actually align, and if it doesn't, then we make sure that we keep our players. And I'm delighted that Ellie's here for the second part of this season.
There's also a lot of players out on loan at the moment. Give us an update on those guys and the ones that have come back as well, the likes of Rory Whittaker and Murray Aiken.
Sure, we've got a lot of our youngsters who are out on loan. Young Murray Johnson has gone out to Queen of the South for the second half of the season for a bit of experience. We've got a variety of young players at the moment that are out on development loans. There's a couple out on exit loans. And then we've got some of our first team players who are out, Nohan Kenna's gone out on loan. Jair Tavares stays there on loan. Dylan Vente is another one who's doing well, and I'm delighted for him. He's back over in Holland with his family. He's had a tough time here, and he's doing well in the Eredivisie at the moment. So it's a variety of stages, I suppose, in people's careers. We've just got to make sure, again, what we do is best for the club. So our younger ones will go out and get experience. There'll be people who'll be leaving the club at the end of the season, and that brings a sense of excitement as far as we're concerned, because it allows the squad to evolve again. It allows us to be able to be sustainable and make sure that the club is a going concern going forward in terms of making sure that there is a balance to the budget, the financial side of the football club. We have got an alignment with our ownership model and the fact that they back us in the short term and also the longer term plan for the football club and the team evolving and the hopefully sustained success. We obviously want to try and get top 6, then we want to get to Europe, but you want that to be year in, year out, like every club does. And for that to happen, we've got to make sure that we've got a squad that has got a blend of youth and has got sustainable assets in it, has got some experience, and we make sure the players are here. And there's a good reason that they're at the football club. As I said to you, that it's been an unbalanced squad for a period of time, and over the summer window, this window and the next 1 or 2, but certainly in the summer when so many players are out of contract, it'll allow us to evolve the squad in a way that is financially sustainable, but also making sure that we have even more talented players at the football club, and the fans get to see those players on a day-to-day basis.
let's talk about that then, because the transfer window is obviously now closed, but the work continues behind the scenes, ready to prepare for the summer in terms of those kind of pre-contract players, but also players that are out of contract, potentially discussions with some of those as well.
Yeah, very much so. You know, players are under contract at the moment, and they'll be, you know, going into the summer, and they'll have options possibly, but we'll sit down and discuss that over a period of time. Right now is a very important time for the squad to concentrate and focus nothing other than on the games ahead, because it's a really important time coming up. And the team have done so well over the last period that I don't want anything to interrupt that. They've got a laser focus, and David Gray and his team have done, his staff have done an amazing job to actually get this club and this team into this situation right now, and have a culture around the training ground that is special. So, you know, there'll be a point where we talk to advisors concerning either extensions or players deciding that they want to try something else. We'll also be with the recruitment team, which I'm delighted to be working with, and Garvin Stewart and David Marshall, and you know, our scouts and our analysts, that they're beginning to really gel as a group, and learn and bring together, I suppose, a plan that is going to be long-term sustainable in terms of what the recruitment of players over the next few windows is going to actually bring for the football club, that success and that ability to have strength and depth even more, and have a real challenge for every position, which is what managers want. So they're working hard for that, and the minute the transfer window closes tomorrow, then the attention turns to the next part of the recruitment for the summer.
Excellent. Just finally on the process then for transfers since Garvin's come in, what is the strategy now in terms of preparing for that window? Like you said, I imagine there'll be pre-contract discussions, like you said, internally, discussions going on about players' contracts as well, but give us a flavour of how that works from a recruitment sense. Sure.
Well, obviously we look at every position in the pitch. We try and have a starter, a cover, and then a development player for every position in the pitch. We'll sit down with David, and we'll look at the amount of players that he wants to have generally, and what a squad would look like, who's going out of contract, are those positions, are those players that are going to be kept with the football club if they want to, the cost of each position, you know, for the actual budget, where we have to, as I say, be prudent in terms of what that is, and be respectful of our ownership and how much money they've actually put into the football club. So we've got to make sure that balances, and then among that, then go and try and get the best deal for the football club in each position, with the variety of players that will come up over the next few months, so that when we start again in the summer, by the time we hit that 1st of September, and I can't believe I'm actually talking about the 1st of September at the moment, that we have got a group here where there is a squad model that fits in terms of financially to the football club, fits in terms of a balance with each position, that there is a challenge in each position, and improve the quality of the player, because that's the biggest thing of the lot. Make sure that we keep evolving to make sure that the quality of the players we can get are better than the ones that are leaving the football club, and that's with the greatest respect, but we've got to keep trying to push to make sure that the people that go out there on a Saturday and wear that Hibs badge do it with pride, and there's a reason our fans are there cheering them, because they are top pros and top players that are actually going out there and actually managing to challenge at the very top of this division. It's what everyone wants, and we've got to make sure we try and get our best players in to do that.
Absolutely, Malky. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thanks, Adam.